Hello, Disclosure Fest. I'm Bonnie Burkert, also known as Yogi Bon. And today with us, we're going to be spoken to Jeroen de Wit. He's originally from Holland, now in Los Angeles. And Jeroen is a quantum healing hypnosis technique practitioner and a past life regressionist. Jeroen, help us know what that means and what it can do for us.
Hi, Bonnie. Thank you so much for having me here. And thank you for doing such a great job pronouncing my name. This is such a tricky thing here in the United States. It's a very common name where I'm from, but you say it very, very well. Thank you. So I'm a practitioner of QHHT, which is a form of past life regression that was developed by the late and great Dolores Cannon, might be a familiar name. So I see people on a daily basis to help them get unstuck in their lives by having them access different lifetimes to gain or to get resources from their soul to get onto a higher plane in their current lifetime. That's what I do.
Very important. I will share that I had an experience with a past life regression session a long time ago. Some of the earliest, I guess, new age work that I've ever done. And I saw an old boyfriend, and it helped me kind of figure out that relationship then, why we had the relationship now, maybe even forgive him for being, a jerk, and find peace in myself and work my way through it. So I'm a big believer, and please help people know a little bit more what it's like. What is a session with you like?
So the main focus is healing. So a lot of people think past life regression means sort of past life tourism to get an interesting view on different parts of our identity, and that is an important part, but healing is the biggest it's the biggest part of a session. So why is it healing? Because a lot of times we can get stuck in our lives or feel crappy or depressed because there is a ton of self-judgment present, or we've gone through difficult experiences. And what past life regression can do is, when we tune into our soul or source, we get to find out that we are part of a benevolent universe that is just supporting us to get to know ourselves more as source. So we are all the point the universe is trying to make. And the lives that we lead, including the challenges, have all been opted into. So to find out about that you are on your life's path, and that the challenges that you're facing are not you going off the path, but that all the things that you've scripted, if you will, before this lifetime are ways for you to heal or to help yourself get to know yourself as God on the planet. We don't come out in this world feeling complete in who we are, and we're just here to be healing personalities and just start healing the world. Most of us, we go through a journey of lots of challenges to find out what it's like, to learn compassion, to be able to relate to other people that are going through the same thing, and to gain invaluable knowledge on how to overcome these challenges and inspire other people to do the same thing. So in past life regression, there's sort of a wider understanding that happens when people see themselves as a part of the whole, and how it all is a perfectly functioning, like clockwork, how their lives are perfect pieces, including the challenges. And also to tap into relationships, like you just said, to have an understanding of maybe a challenging relationship in this lifetime, but another lifetime you were like, crazy lovers together. And then to find out that you sat together before going into the current lifetime, and then saying like, hey, I want to learn this particular thing about codependency. I want to really learn to get to my own self-worth, and I need to have a codependent relationship with somebody so I can find out what it's like to not be at my own power. Sounds familiar?
Yeah.
So you looked to the side. So I've been in lots of codependent relationships myself. So, and then, this other soul says, great, I'm going to come in as this narcissist asshole in your life, and I'll help you really feel what it's like to not value yourself, so you can make the decision to start valuing yourself.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Right.
That's big. That's big, even just in this lifetime, whether or not that was somebody I knew in the past or not, but maybe.
So this is often, when people talk about twin flames or soulmates, I see this over and over in my office. And I've had the experiences myself when I was in relationships with these guys that were shut down emotionally, or narcissists, or there might have been mental health issues. So they were not able to be present with me. So I was caretaking and trying to shine the light on them and trying to rescue them or fix them. But I wasn't really tending to my own emotional needs, nor expecting them to do that. So, and it didn't make me feel good. So I thought these guys, one after another, were my soulmates or my twin flames, because I had this sort of magnetic, feverish, addictive attraction to them. And it might be that they were my soulmates, but they came in to teach me what it feels like to not value myself. So I could then sort of hit my rock bottom and then start to learn what it's like to value myself. And this is what I've been doing. I am a advocate of self-love within the work that I do. And I find that it's really helpful, quantum healing hypnosis technique, to turn people on to starting to love themselves. And this ties in with Disclosurefest and what's happening on the planet. We are in a spiritual awakening right now. This, I mean, you've probably heard about this, you listener, and Bonnie, of course. But yeah, it's been happening for a while, and it's amping up. And so from my perspective, what I've experienced in my own life and what is coming forth through these sessions, when I talk to a person's soul, people transcend their human consciousness and connect to their soul knowing, and they often speak from it. So they have access to information from the Akashic records, or channeled information from angels or star beings, star family comes in. And so this is what we're hearing over and over, that we're in a glorious time right now from the perspective of the soul, that we have come here, all of us, to witness this amazing event of the spiritual awakening that's happening. And apparently it's never been done before in the way that it's happening on the planet right now. There's lots of interest in what's going on from the different star groups, different other, we call them aliens, because it's such a momentous event. And what's happening right now is that the old ways of being are breaking down. So we're moving from a mind-centered, doing type oriented way of approaching life, where we see life and ourselves through labels and categories and social constructs that we have created. They're fake, or they're not real. They don't allow us to feel ourselves. So what's happening right now is that these are breaking down, and that we're being forced through the difficulties and challenges that are happening on the planet, coronavirus, fires, all the uprisings, to drop into our hearts. And this is really what's happening. This is the 5D that's being birthed through us right now. And so, yes, there are challenges. It's difficult, and but there's a purpose to it. It's already, I've heard this over and over in my sessions when I speak to these higher beings or higher consciousness. It's already a done deal. It's already determined that we're going to get through this. We're going to get down to the wire, but we're going to get through this. And there is a more loving world waiting for us. I mean, it's not waiting for us because we are the people that are creating it. So there are cosmic influences happening right now. There is cosmic energy coming in that helps us to elevate. There are lots of star seeds on the planet. You might be one, I am one, there might be other people, where we're bringing in knowledge and the understanding of life from a more loving perspective. And we decided to incarnate onto the planet here to help elevate the frequency of human consciousness on the planet. And some of us do this by taking in, the codependency, as we talked about, or any other limited understandings about life or love, about who we are, and living the experience, and then to transform it within our own life. And when we do so, we're lightening the harmonics of human consciousness on the planet as we do so. And so it's usually the older generation. I'm 49, so people my age and older, we've had to do the groundwork and be in the trenches in that sense. The kids that are coming in right now, they don't even play those games of trying to conform anymore. They say, fuck all that old bullshit. I'm here to just, I'm here to just get up and woof and say what it's like. People that have access to their personal power, they don't have to go through the disempowerment to learn what it's like. They're now just here to really shine a light on things. And this is kind of what we're heading for. So people that learn to embrace their own authenticity, to learn to understand, or to have an embodied experience that we're all God on the planet. We are part of Source on the planet. So what's been happening on the planet, that we've taken on limited beliefs about ourselves through the cultures that we've been raised around, through our upbringing, the generational traumas, and we're now transforming them so we can make space in the body again to leave the mind focused or the mind obsessed way of being, to drop into the heart so we can love all these parts that we've had to shut down as part of our life, to start to embrace and recover them. And when we do so, we gain the understanding that we had as a baby when we first came in, that we are Source on the planet. And when we understand this, you know, we just get busy doing what we love doing the most, which is loving ourselves, loving other people, loving nature, loving the environment. And when we regain a compassionate understanding of ourselves, we then understand that we are part of God, and by default, everything else is too. So when that happens in us, we do not want to harm ourselves. We have just purged all the internalized cruelties of culture and mind-based understanding on the planet. And now we just want to steward and love and take care of ourselves and of all other beings and people on the planet. And so then, you know, the differences in beliefs and religions and all the differences that we have, they become obsolete because we just are able to connect from a heart-to-heart place to other people. So this is kind of a long-winded descriptor of what past life regression can do for people. It is really to tap into your own source of love and wisdom, the part that knows everything about the current lifetime and all the other lifetimes. And it can soothe the human understanding, knowing that you are on the right path and that you came here for all this difficulty that's happening right now. You've got front row seating to the whole event happening, and you are an integral part of it. You came here to raise the frequency of consciousness on the planet by being fully you, to express God as you. Not just the parts of you that you've learned are appreciated or valued by other people, but all of you. You came here fully loaded and fully coded to do God as you. So the business that you should be getting with is to, and which you're already doing, because you are alive on the planet, is to learn to love yourself first. It's important, because then you accept and channel and anchor your divinity. It's not fixing who you are. It is fixing the limited self-beliefs or the limited judgment that you have internalized about yourself, to know that all these parts are okay, that you are supposed to be maybe more sensitive, that you are maybe in touch with other dimensions, maybe that you are more caring about the planet or of nature. This is normal. You came in with these capacities. You came in to show a different way. Yeah, this is what my journey has been about, and I'm so honored and thrilled to assist other people in going on the same journey or to have an uptake in it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, Jeroen, I just feel it head to toe. I mean, it's really, I feel activated just speaking to you and hearing you describe this, and reminding us why we're gathered together here at Disclosure Fest, and the work that we all have to do. So you've been doing this for a while. I'd like to ask, do you feel that things are accelerating in terms of people coming to you, and then what you're bringing through for those people? Do you feel a quickening in the last several years? And maybe even talk to me a little bit about the fact that in 2020, you haven't been able to see people one-on-one. How has that been? Because I'm sure you feel like, whoa, this is such an important time. I'm supposed to be facilitating, and yet I have to do it over Zoom rather than having that in-person contact. How do you feel that weaves into what this experience is right now?
Oh yeah, so cool to talk about. So yeah, I've been doing this for a while. I started doing this back in 2006. And in the beginning, there wasn't a lot of knowledge about Dolores Cannon or this work. So my work steadily increased, and now I'm booked out until January. We're in beginning of October. So a lot of people find this work now, they're on their YouTube just trying to find better ways to live, and then the feed shows Dolores Cannon or QHHT or whatever else people access. And so there's more consciousness about it. People are being squeezed out of their comfort zones. And so they're looking for more, they're looking for different ways of living. This is part of the awakening that's happening. So people access stuff like what I do. And then 2020, yes, I did feel like I was dead in the water for a bit when we were on lockdown. Like, oh my God, this crazy things happening. It's having such an influence over us, and like people are looking for guidance and help, and I can't work right now. So I did not work for a while. And I mean, it was beneficial for me because also for me, I learned to, I mean, this is what my understanding is of this whole lockdown situation, what it's doing for us. You know, everything that happens in our life is just catalyst. You know, there's everything that happens is catalyst for us to embrace the projection of self that we're seeing outside of us. So coronavirus, you know, you can debate on how it started to come to be or where it came from, or is it evil, or all that stuff. You can have a debate about all of that. But the fact is that we are dealing with the consequences and the symptoms of it. So how is that affect us in our own personal universe? So for me, and what I saw in my clients and other people around me, that what it did, it pressed the pause button. And it pressed the pause button on the abuses that we've been perpetrating to ourselves and the planet. That, you know, that we have been busy in our lives having such a doing type oriented approach to life, to be producing and doing and creating stuff. What?
Too concentrated in the 3D.
Yes. And so what this did, this coronavirus lockdown bit that we went through, is that we were forced to focus on our feelings. Our feelings are part of us. You know, feelings and emotions have been the stepchild of our culture. You know, we've been very sort of mind-based. And so what this coronavirus lockdown did is it allowed us to tap into our feelings and to start to embrace and explore that part of us. Whether it was through exploring joy, because, you know, you might have been like, fuck that job, you know, I'm glad that I don't have to go. So now what can I do? My day is empty. What should I do? Well, what do I want to do? What will bring me joy? I'm going to go out in nature. I'm going to go create. I'm going to go paint. I'm going to go dance, you know, get a Zoom class or whatever. So to follow the joy, or if it elicited fear and anxiety, then your day would have been about trying to find ways to take care of yourself, to take care of those feelings, to feel better. So from my perspective, you know, this business was this lockdown was helpful for people to understand that part of themselves better and to explore that part.
Yeah. No, I love that. I mean, my understanding from others and things that I've studied and heard was we're not interacting with others' auras. So it's almost an aura cleanse. It's a chance at an aura cleanse for all of us. And, you know, it's sad that we can't gather for Disclosure Fest. And you've been in past years, if you ever had a chance to be at previous mass meditations?
You know what? I'm embarrassed to say I have not. I always had other events pre-planned, or I have work scheduled before I did this full time. So I've never been, but I would always host some of the speakers that were speaking at the event. And so I sort of get my secondhand experience through them.
Fantastic. Yes. Yeah. Well, hopefully next year, and we're always doing events all throughout the year. So who knows when we'll have a chance to do this in person, Jeroen. Tell me a little bit about, because we're talking about the mass meditation, tell me your feelings about what it's like to come together, and are we going to be okay only being able to do it online? I mean, how much of a miss is it, or can we do this? Is this World Wide Web still keeping us connected? I mean, there's almost that component of the ether, right? I mean, if you think about it, we're having to work on the ether. So what does it feel like for you? Tell me your experience about meditation and how it would apply to us all gathering together for Disclosure Fest mass meditation.
So, I mean, this is an amazing event. So this to me is 5D manifest on the planet, events like this, because of the intentionality and the kind of people that it draws, this focus on love and connectivity, and it's beautiful. And of course, it's sad that we cannot feel the visceral presence of other human beings, but I think we found remarkable ways of connecting anyway. I mean, everything is energy anyway, so we can connect through space and through time. I mean, I do this in my work all the time. We tap into different timelines and different places. It can be done on the spot just by directing consciousness. So I don't think, there is, and I've been doing my work online as well. I've been doing group regressions online, and it just works just the same as in person. So I think it's completely, well, I'm glad it's happening, that it's not stopped, Disclosurefest, that we're doing it using this format. Of course, it's different when we cannot give each other hugs and look into each other's eyes, as a group, or, to enjoy some food together. But I think it works just the same. It's all intentionality and energy, and it's remarkable what has been created over these last couple of months in terms of through a desire to connect anyway, despite of the lockdown.
Yeah, very much. And maybe that much more global for people that couldn't actually be on hand in Los Angeles, where they're able to be a part of this. So,
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah.
No, you mentioned group sessions online. Would you like to describe that a little bit more and perhaps tell people, I know you said you're busy till January, but how can people connect with you? Go ahead and let us a little bit know more about finding you.
Oh, thank you. So yeah, I started seeing people in person again in my office here in Los Angeles. But then I also do Zoom sessions. I do group regressions, and I work through different venues all over town. I work with the Mindry and Den Meditation and Bindu Point and Liberate Emporium, Liberate Yourself. And so they're the platforms that people sign up through. And then I take people through an online group regressions. These people are in their own bed or their own comfortable chair in their own house, and they go through an experience of different lifetimes. So that's what I do. And then I see people in private in my office. And yeah, you can contact me through my website, or Instagram is the best way.
We'll make sure that, yes, please give us your Instagram handle.
So it's my first name. Okay, so this is going to be a little tricky because of how it's spelled, but it's Jeroen is love is my affirmation. So Jeroen is love is my Instagram handle. And then my website is also my first name, JeroenQHHT.com.
Fantastic. And we will make sure that everyone can find you on our website. So please click on the link, because we want to make sure that you stay connected. This is important work you're doing. So I shared an example, maybe not all the specifics, of how past life regression helped me. Do you have any? I know you can't reveal too much, but maybe you give us a few examples of what some takeaways from people, any specifics. Have you had anybody come back that they were John Lennon in a past life or something big like that? I mean, can you share any big revelations?
Sure. I love talking about this stuff. So, I mean, the biggest case that I've been part of has been made into a book called The Boy Who Knew Too Much. And it's the story of do you know the book?
No, I've heard of it. No, tell us more.
So it's the story of a woman who is now my friend, Cathy Byrd, who has a kid who started telling her at 2 years of age that he used to be a tall German baseball player. And she thought, oh, cute imagination. But then things would happen where she would take him to a baseball stadium, and there was like a large poster of Babe Ruth on the wall, and the kid had a total meltdown. He said, that is a bad guy. We had a big fight. He is evil, to the point where she needed to drag him away from the area because he was just so upset. So come to find out that he used to be Lou Gehrig, the baseball player, because more of these instances would happen where he would comment on, I think they were in a hotel somewhere, and he said, oh, when I was the baseball player, we would travel in coaches or trains. We didn't travel in planes. Or he would comment on the things that would happen in like the 30s and 40s, like transportation-wise and stuff. So Cathy was from a Christian background, had no concept of reincarnation. And through different friends, she finally found me, and she comes in with this crazy story. And she goes, I don't know what this is, past life regression. Can we do a session? I want to find out what it is. She's a Gemini, much like I am, so we immediately hit it off on a personal level. We have such a good time talking. And then we did the session, and she goes into the lifetime of Christina Gehrig, Lou Gehrig's mom. Her kid had told her that she used to be his mom in that past lifetime, but that he liked her now much better because of her bubbly personality. I told her what I tell everybody in my session. I don't tell you what to go look at, what kind of past life. I leave this up to your higher self. It knows way better than I do what is most healing for you today. So, but we did go and explore this lifetime. It ended up a working class environment on the East Coast where she was just a slightly more plump woman. in sort of old-fashioned clothes, and she described the living room she was in, a little dog beside her. We found her at the dinner table, speaking German, some German words, knew all the German names of her kids because she was born in Germany. So we had a very detailed experience of her sort of re-experiencing that lifetime. She came back 2 more times to do sessions and would go back in the same lifetime. So I asked her higher self, why are we doing this? Why do we have to explore this lifetime over and over again? This has never happened since. So it said, well, she is to mine this experience or mine this lifetime for verifiable details that you can go and fact check with still living descendants and relatives, and then write a book about it. It will be a book that will have more people drawn to this concept of reincarnation because it involves baseball, and it will have this level of verifiability where, you know, she knew things in the session that she couldn't have known about. And so when she did go and fact check them with still living descendants and relatives, it all matched. So what she experienced was true. She wrote a book about it. It won the HayHouse writing contest, and it's published, and it's on its way to be made into a movie. So that's the biggest part. And I've had other, go ahead.
No, I love that. I mean, I love that the mission was to open up more people to this type of work and the opportunity that exists with this kind of work.
And then, I mean, what I do love to talk about as well, whenever people go into an alien sort of experience during their session, I tell them, like, I ask them, what do you look like? And they describe an otherworldly environment. And then I ask them, look at your body, and they go, oh my God, I am, you know, skinny, long legs. I am tall. I have a big head, big eyes, or whatever they look like. And I love these experiences because they solidify for people why they have been feeling this sense of something is wrong in this world. It's wrong that it's been such a cruel, brutal place here on planet Earth, the way things are done. And people come in with this sensitivity or this sense of knowing that it could be much different. I'm one of these people. Like, I've always looked at the world and the ongoings, like, why are we doing this to each other? Why is there so much violence and aggression and stuff? And so for people to connect with that part of their identity, to know that they are from, that part of who they are exists on a different galaxy or a different planet, different dimension that is more evolved, and to connect with that and to feel that as truth, and then to know that part of that being incarnated on this planet very purposefully to bring that understanding of love, that evolved way of being to planet Earth. You know, it can be very, very empowering for people to know that they're not just sensitive, or they're almost like it's pathologized on the planet. When you're sensitive, or when you're more like in tune with nature, like it's seen as kind of weak, or, you know, it's not weak. It's your superpower that you're bringing forth on this planet. You're here to show how it's done, you know. And so for people to connect to that part of their identity, it's very, very empowering for them to claim it and to step forth in it in their human life on the planet right now, to find their freak flag and to fly it boldly. That's what we're here to do.
Oh my gosh, what a powerful message for us. Do you have any final thoughts in these last few minutes? Jeroen, we could keep going and going. I want to ask, I'd love to hear some more of the stories here, but I guess we're just going to have to join you for one of your group sessions. So send us off. I mean, we've just got a few more months in this crazy year that we've had, and I really am taking away a message of love, and to know that this is all happening according to the divine plan. So
sure.
wrap this up for us a little bit with that love, please.
So it sure is. If you want to get onto your own path of experiencing your life purpose, and to help raise the frequency on the planet even more, the easiest thing to do is to relate back to yourself, to embrace yourself through experiencing joy. Joy, for fuck's sake, not the joys that you might have gotten through rewards or people commenting on the shape of your body or your accomplishment, but joys, for fuck's sake, that you had as a kid when you would dance or scream out loud or paint or run through the forest, have the wind blowing in your face, to give yourself these experiences as much as you can, because this is when you connect to your essential nature, to your core, to your source. And these are the breadcrumbs that when you attend to your feelings of joy, when you start listening to yourself, these will lead into a more self-expressed and authentic life. Follow your joy.
That's wonderful. Thank you very much for joining us for Disclosure Fest. We will definitely see you again, and all, here in Los Angeles, online. It's wonderful that you have been a part of this for us, and I am really happy that everybody gets a chance to learn more about the opportunities that exist with past life regression. So please check out Jeroen and his different ways to find him online here on the site. And thank you again. I wish you the very, very best, and namaste to you.
Namaste. Thank you for having me here.
Thanks for joining us at Disclosure Fest, everyone.
Yay.
Yay. All right, I'm going to end this